So, Nicole, the place we stayed, and just tell me if I'm a wimp. Tell me if I'm being unreasonable here, okay?
Okay, I will. No problem.
In fact, Nicole stopped by our house on Saturday, and my wife and Nicole and I, we had a nice little 2-hour visit. And my wife started to tell you this story, and I did my, we're going to save it for on the air on Monday. And
right.
I wouldn't let my wife tell you the story on Saturday. So we're in our room, and this place was fantastic where we were staying. And I was going to come back and give it rave reviews. A beautiful view of the lake. It was lovely. And, we got in on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, a gigantic thunderstorm starts rolling across the Flathead Valley of Montana. And there are all kinds of severe weather alerts and hail the size of nickels will be falling. And my wife and I thought it was just cozy as can be. We'd gone for a 2-hour bike ride that morning, and now we're back and we're watching this, the type of thunderstorm we don't get here in the Seattle area. So there was a nice stuffed chair in one corner of the room, and my wife moved the chair onto the door in front of the door that went to our deck. And when she moved the chair, Nicole, she saw a piece of cloth on the ground in the corner of the room, and she thought, "Oh, they must have dropped a dust rag or something," because this was a big deal for me. I'm going to go out and stay someplace for the first time during COVID-19, and I want a place that's, is clean. And so my wife...
I think we all want that whenever we go anywhere.
Well, but especially now. I mean, I'm still a little paranoid about this virus. So my wife thinks it's a dust rag on the floor, and she goes to pick it up. It's a pair of men's underwear, and they're not mine.
Somebody was taking them off in a hurry and flung them behind the chair. It's a great thought.
Sometimes you toss clothes on chairs in hotel rooms. So I got the heebie-jeebies, which is a phrase I haven't used in 40 years. But it's just, and my wife dropped it right away, of course, and then went and scrubbed her hands. And I called the front desk, and I say, "Hey, been here for a few days, just have had a lovely time. We love your place." And I said, "But my wife just found a pair of men's underwear in the corner of our room, and they aren't mine, and they sure as heck aren't hers." And the gal at the front desk kind of started laughing, and I go, no, this really isn't funny. I said, "Could you just have somebody come up and remove them from the room, please?" And so first of all, I guess my first question is, am I a huge wimp I'll use a plastic bag and turn it inside out and pick up after Buddy if we're out on a walk, but I could envision no scenario where I wanted, even if a plastic bag as my protection, I didn't want to pick up some other man's pair of underpants. Is that unreasonable of me to want them? Should I have just dealt with it myself? That's my first question.
I probably would have just dealt with it. I probably would have just grabbed a Kleenex or something and thrown them in the garbage. Done.
Sean, do you think I'm being unreasonable here?
No. If I were to see a pair of underpants that were not mine or my spouse's or whatnot, I would definitely not be cool with that.
No.
Were you
going to switch rooms because there's a pair of underwear?
No.
It's just a pair of underwear. Pick them up, throw them away.
No, I just wanted them out of my room. But I didn't know I'd been sleeping with them in the same room for 2 days. And
this may come as a surprise, but you've probably, I mean, there were underwear that were removed from your room before. Like, there's been lots of underwear in that room.
Yeah, and don't even take a black light to the bed sheet story.
I know, I've thought about carrying one of those. The bed sheets and the remote. The remote is the most notorious one. Okay, so she says, well, we'll send somebody up right away to get the men's underpants out of your room. And I'm kind of on my laptop, and the thunderstorm is raging, and it's really beautiful. And, an hour goes, half hour, an hour and a half. Finally, there's a knock on the door. And it's a kid, and he goes, Mr. Monson? And he hands me an envelope. And I go, what's this? And he goes, I have no idea. Have a good day. And he didn't pick up the underpants. And then I opened the envelope, and it was a coupon for 2 free drinks. But the underpants are still sitting there. And then... And so now I'm trying to do some stuff on my computer. It's like there's a dead body in the corner of the room. It's bothering me so much at this point. And so then my wife and I went to dinner. And as we're coming back, I go to the front desk and I say, hey, I called 4 hours ago about some underpants. I'm just obsessed by now. I called about 4 hours ago about some underpants, and she goes, yeah, you talked to me. And I said, they're still on the floor of our room. And she was mortified. And she goes, nobody came up? I go, no, nobody. And she goes, did our general manager contact you? And I said, no, and I don't want a free night. I don't want anything. I just want them gone. And I said, would you please have somebody put on a little rubber glove and come up to our room and remove them? And about 3 minutes later, this poor kid comes up, and he's all gloved up, and he goes, where are they? And he was pretty funny. And but then I'm thinking, I'm a wimp. I'm just a wimp about stuff like this.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I didn't feel good about myself after this whole thing.
Dori,
that's unnecessary, but...
Yeah, well, I have a question. It might make a difference to the story, but were they tighty-whities or boxers or boxer briefs?
They were tighty-whitey style, but they were like a denim blue color.
Oh, those sound kind of nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was just like a lump of tighty-whitey, and I was like, that's more disturbing than a nice, colorful pair.
Yeah, no, they were nicely blue hued. You know what? Now I'm feeling, and also they were much smaller than what I would wear. And now I'm thinking, if I had been thinking last week, I would have done the plastic bag inside out, picked them up, just put them in the suitcase, brought them home, washed them, and then brought them to you, Sean, as a nice gift, because they looked like they were about your size.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you paid that much attention to my body like that, Dori.
I've seen your waist once or twice.
Oh, and it doesn't go to waste.
Oh, man.
Why don't we just end on that? That is your fastest 15.